So I'm going to give you a glimpse of what DMR looks like in ham radio and how to start using it. And again, I'm by way of demonstration. I'm going to take a brand new HT out of the box, a brand new SkyBridge hotspot, and I'm going to make effort to make 2 new friends, one in California and one in Ohio. So let's start off with talking about DMR, okay? Because that's the technology we're working on. So DMR stands for Digital Mobile Radio. It was designed for commercial operations, and it was to solve a problem of how to use limited spectrum and to use it more efficiently. So the problem was solved by allowing 2 independent calls, or QSOs as we call them, to happen simultaneously on the same frequency. And this is done by time slicing using a method called TDMA, or time division multiple access. TDMA effectively doubles the usable bandwidth, and in the case of DMR, each call occupies approximately 30 milliseconds. So you're having one call, or actually 2 calls on one frequency. So you effectively, whereas in ham radio world for the longest time we've got spectrum at 25 kilohertz. Well, now we can take a 12.5 kilohertz channel and split it up into 2 calls happening at the same time. So anyway, I'm not going to get into the weeds on any of this stuff as far as how the DMR technology works in TDMA. That's not what the objective of. I just want to kind of give you a lay of the land of what is happening, why it's digital, and how it handles it. We're going to start our journey in terms of how to make QSOs. We want to learn how to talk to other people and make new friends and enjoy ham radio in a more fuller way. We can, after we get acquainted with this technology and you guys get some equipment, you can begin to understand more and more about the technology. And so by just an outside comment, if you've got grandkids or children that are, young adults, whatever, this technology would be a good career move, to tell folks about it. It is, as I outlined earlier, a booming technology. We don't have enough people getting into radio and using it to improve their incomes. So I'd encourage you guys to expose, your kids with this information, because there definitely is a need, because, people always need comms, whether it's in, emergency management or businesses. And ham radio is really cool in that it starts the journey. It started for me when I was 8, 9, 10 years old. My 2 uncles were hams in the 70s, and I sat there and I watched them, play with their, radios, and I was just mesmerized because they were making telephone calls on their HTs back in the 70s and early 80s, and this before cell phones. And so, that's where my journey started, was back then. So DMR could be the start of a journey for our younger folks. Okay, so again, DMR was not created for the hams. Okay, the hams adopted it about 8, 9, 12 years ago, after the technology became more prominent in the commercial space. So the hams kind of took this technology and started making all these networks. So yeah, why should I consider DMR? What is the intrigue? Well, for the past 12 years, hams have been building these worldwide networks that consist of FM repeaters and these hotspots, and they're linked via the internet. Okay, there's over 200,000 right now, 200,000 DMR IDs issued, and it's growing at about 500 users a week. Okay, so more and more hams are getting into this. Okay, and this is worldwide, by the way. So I think the United States has approximately about 800,000 licensed amateurs. And of course, there's only 200,000 DMR IDs or more, but it's growing. So that's the point I'm making, is it's growing.